Baby, lay on back and relax. Kick your pretty.
Hi, welcome to Life on the Road again.
Welcome to our Q&A edition.
So we got a list of questions that people have been asking.
Especially since our last video of introduction, we've been really overwhelmed with the response and emails and questions, especially since we're still only at 66 subscribers.
Right.
But
still getting a lot of response and a lot of questions. And, you know, we try to say that in many other videos, try to cover a lot of the stuff that's out there. It's very confusing. I'm still confused on a lot of things. But, you know, we're trying to figure it out. But we do have a lot of questions, and we do have the answers for them. So you want to...
Yeah, the first question was, what kind of equipment do we have, such as truck and trailer?
So I do have an equipment video. I need to post that. It covers the truck and trailer and all the equipment I think is necessary for this business. But I have a 2019 Ford F350. And it is it is just single wheel, so it's not a dually. I'm comfortable with it. It was a starting platform for hot shotting. I think it was a good decision. The trailer is a big tex, 30 foot, 25 by 5. Has the mega ramps, which I absolutely recommend. You have to have mega ramps, or whatever else you call them. You have to have ramps. Very important. It's very imperative to have. Probably 50% of our loads.
Yeah, in this area especially the Northeast.
Right.
Is equipment or something that needs ramps.
Right, so I'd say 50% need some kind of mega ramps. Very convenient. A lot of brokers or dispatchers will call and just ask for that alone. We built a relationship in Pennsylvania with a guy that he said it's hard to find people with mega ramps, or ramps I should state. So we built that relationship because we have mega ramps. So a 30-foot trailer. Now I might get some kickback on this, but for being a single wheel vehicle, I don't think I'd go over 30 feet. Definitely would not go to 40 feet. If I went to a 40-foot trailer running with a CDL, I'd lose about 1,500 pounds. I would guess maybe 20% of the loads we cannot take based on length, but the majority, probably 80%, are
we need more weight.
We need the weight. So if I had a 40-foot, the same setup with big tex, I would lose almost 1,500 pounds. So that would drop our overall weight quite a bit.
The 20% that we, I guess, do lose because of having a 30-foot, it really isn't that big a deal. It don't hurt us if we call them. They need something bigger than 30-foot. Next load fits and it works, and so it hasn't hurt us or made us lose any good loads necessarily.
Right, but I think if I had a 40-foot, that percentage would drop tremendously of loads we can actually take. So, if you're running a dually, absolutely go with the 40-foot. Now, as for a 30-foot, I do wish I got a 28 by 3. I think those 3 extra feet might have helped quite a bit and not change the weight that much. So I guess
that's that equipment. And the next question is kind of regarding that. Do we wish we had got a different truck?
As for a dually, like I said, a 40-foot trailer and a dually, I think, I guess I'd put this as categories, as CDL, non-CDL, as a single wheel, at a 30-foot trailer, I'd put that as a category, then I'd bump it up to a CDL, into another category, kind of what I'm running at the bottom level with single wheel. As for a dually, I think it would take it up another level, a dually with 30 or 40-foot trailer. At the same time, a dually, you kind of got some more maintenances in there. Gas mileage, you're going to see a little bit of a decrease. And again, you're going to have a little heavier trailer. But again, I think that bumps up the amount of money you can actually make. So as for what we are running, I think it's a great starting platform. We can build on that from there.
I don't know if I wish. I think we're doing well the way we are. If we could go back, maybe would consider the dually, just because that would open up a few more loads. But I mean, we're doing really well with what we do have.
Right.
So, and then somebody's question was thoughts on dualies, 40-foot or air ride. You kind of already talked on the dualies and 40-foot, so I think that's covered. But as for air ride, what our opinion, and has it limited our loads?
From my understanding, a lot of brokers who ask for air ride, they automatically wanted a semi with air ride. Now, I know there's some discussions out there. There's a lot of pros and cons. I guess in some way it's personal choice, but from what we are seeing and the maintenance is the extra maintenance of an air ride, and especially being up here in northern Ohio, just having the issue of winter long, having the risk of that thing freezing up. It's a big risk, but also if you the cost comparison compared to an air ride and non-air ride, I don't see the value there. I don't think we've lost very many loads, maybe 5%.
I'd say maybe one a week I come across that says air ride, but of course I don't call about them, so I don't know if that means air ride Hotshot would work or if it's air ride semi, but maybe one a week. In the South, it seemed like I came across maybe 2 a week. It wasn't enough to even make a difference.
So it's personal preference. If you want to spend the extra money, a lot of times those loads, they are paying a little bit better. But again, I don't see the value in it. I paid $8,700 for a trailer. Most of the air rides new, you're looking at $20,000. So I can't see the value in it. So it's just kind of your personal preference on that.
The next question was, what boards do we use? So I would say, since I'm spending most of the time staring at those every day, Monday through Friday, I've learned we were the first several weeks really staying in the Northeast. So from there, I thought most of the loads came from the DAT board, which in that area it does. In the last few weeks, we were actually more in the South, and I realized it seems like different areas has different boards where their brokers must post. So usually I use the DAT board. That one's I like a lot. Truck stop, when we were in the South, that seemed to be used more. There's a lot more in that. Right. So we use truck stop. We use the 1, 2, 3 load board. I just started using that, and I don't really think that it's
very
all that great.
Right.
We use truckloads. I'm also on individual broker sites such as C.H. Robinson, Mercer, just going to their individual broker sites. I mean, any given day, we might be looking at 6 different places, boards, sites, to use loads. So those are ones we use. I'd say the biggest one that I usually get loads for is DAT.
Right.
The next question is, how do we post trucks? So that goes back to the load boards. The 2 that I use to post trucks is the DAT board and truck stops. Truck stop? Yeah. Okay. So you just go into the app, and there'll be a little icon at the bottom that says post your truck, and you go and you fill it out where you're going to be, the dates you're going to be there, what you can haul, all that sort of stuff. So we post it as soon as we know where we're going to be. So we already know where we're going to be on Monday. This is Friday. So we have already had our truck posted in that area as of yesterday, so that we're there and ahead of schedule.
Right. So callers will start calling you. They, these brokers, they want to know where you're at. They can get on these load boards, and that's why it's there, and start searching. So they can start making those phone calls. So they can, they want to book these loads. So it's very crucial to post your trucks.
We've gotten quite a bit of loads from just them calling us from where we were posted. So that's a big help. Because I think sometimes they call before they even have posted the load on a board. So I suggest getting your truck posted
Right.
and staying on top of it, moving it as soon as you move. The next question was, do we use a dispatcher? No. Since we ride together and I'm just pretty much a dispatcher in the seat there all day, every day, it works out fine. We did make contact with a couple just to see if they could help us, you know, find that load that I might not see, but we never heard back from them again.
Yeah,
They never got us a load, so we, you know, for us, we just do it ourselves. The next question was, do you plan on adding drivers soon?
So the answer is yes. Since our last video we posted, we have quite a few people that are interested. So, you know, we're in the process of getting all that
Figuring out the
figured
logistics
out, right.
of it and all that sort of stuff. We have 2 really good candidates that seem to be very interested that's in our area. So, yeah, we were surprised and overwhelmed by the response with that, of people wanting to come on board with us and
Right.
run with us. So,
Yeah.
yes, we do soon. Just going
Right.
to take some time to...
figure out the logistics of it. I mean, there's a lot to it. There's just a lot to this business, like I've covered many times. But yeah, we want to grow this business. We want to become more than just Ohio Hauler and just these 2 faces right here. You know, we want to be more than that. We want to grow. We want to be successful, and we want to employ other people that want to be successful.
Like I said in the other video too, in the meantime, we're going to keep staying on the road, learning, so that we know what everybody's going through. We know where there's dead areas, where to look for loads. You know, we want to learn too, so we're going to stay
Right.
on the road. Even after we bring on a couple drivers, we're going to stay on the road and work for a while. So, the next question was, do we plan on having a dispatch service? Yes. We are also in the works of that. We are going to do a variation where you can drive and get dispatch service, or just dispatch service.
Right.
We're really looking into starting that pretty soon. We have somebody we're going to hire on to help us do some dispatching, which will be helpful, so that you know, I'm not the only one trying to do our loads, and everybody else's too. So
Right.
we are trying to grow that right now.
So if you guys are interested, who are watching this, need a dispatch service, or you know, you want to hire on, I'll put this in the video, but don't forget, it's ohiohaulerllc@gmail.com. Just email us, get a hold of us, and see where we can go from there and move forward.
What will our percent be for dispatch and driving? We're still working that out. That's part of the logistics, but I would say it's going to be pretty, you know, much the same as what the average going rate is.
Right, we'll be competitive with
Right.
that.
We're not here, and I think I said this to somebody that emailed me about driving. We're not here to drain all the money away from the drivers. We hate that. We hate when brokers are being over greedy, and we're the ones on the road doing the work away from our family, putting miles on our car. We understand they have to make money too, but then there's a point of just being too greedy
Right.
with what you're doing. So
We want to take care of people. You know, that's important to any business. Obviously, bottom line is, the more money in our pocket, the better. But same time, you know, we don't want to be greedy. We want to take care of people and make them happy. And you know, like Gary said, you know, there's a lot to this. We just want to take care of people.
okay, if we are hiring drivers, do we want them to be based in Ohio? The answer is no, they don't have to. I think the more that we have people spread out in different areas, the better, because building these relationships a lot. We'll have calls lately of, you know, we may be in a different area and have a call from one of the people we made a relationship for in the Michigan area, wanting us to pick up something there, and we can't seem to take care of all these people
Right.
that we are building relationships for. So it'd actually be kind of nice to have people spread.
Yeah, I think it'd be very beneficial.
Do we count Deadhead miles when we figure out dollars per mile? Yes. That's figured every single time, because it don't matter if you know, if you're making a $2.50 a mile job, but you're deadheading 200 miles, you're not really making that money. So every single time, and in the video where I break down the money and all that sort of stuff, it was based on deadhead miles. So
Right.
That's figured in every single time.
And just speaking on that note, we try very hard to keep that Deadhead under 150 miles, which is very doable. Every once in a while, we'll have to push out past that, but really, obviously, the less Deadhead, the more money back in our pocket.
I would say our average Deadhead's only around maybe 180 to 100 miles, maybe, if that. So we try to keep it very low, and it's been easy to do that.
Absolutely. And obviously, it depends on where you're at in the country, too. I'll say it, if you go out west, nothing's moving. It's very hard, especially for a Hotshot. It's hard to get loads out there. But just in this area, I don't know, maybe I need to put a map up to show where we believe and what we're seeing freight is. But I mean, just going out west, you're going to lose, I think, big time.
That kind of goes to the next question. Do we go cross country? And that all kind of goes into what Justin says. This is the way we see it. We haven't gone out cross country. Does that mean we never will? No. We may someday, maybe just for the experience of going cross country. But we figure when we've looked into things and everything, you may have a really good load that's bringing you thousands of dollars, but by the time it takes you to get there, and then you got to find loads back, you're going to start diluting that really, really quick. So with what we've been making and being able just to be Monday through Friday and home on the weekends, it's, in our opinion, a better thing for us to do anyhow.
Right.
Because I think you figured it before, and we're still averaging how many dollars an hour? Like, if you take what we make a week, break it down to all the hours we're gone, we make...
I figured it out. Within a 24-hour day, we're making $40 an hour.
All week long. So, I mean, that's still pretty good. The more you start going out and have to be gone over the weekend, you're not moving freight really on the weekend, can't pick up usually or drop off, you're diluting that money per hour.
Right. Not saying don't go out there. There is freight moving back and forth, but just make sure you're getting money in your pocket, at least well over $2 a mile. And hopefully your dispatcher or yourself will find a load guaranteed before you can get out there to come back on.
Yeah, we don't. The only time we'll take anything under $2 a mile is if we're just trying to get home for the weekend, and we may take something that comes up for like $1.40 or $1.50 because it's still making us money and we're getting that last few hundred miles home and getting paid for it.
Right.
But we don't typically take anything under $2 a mile. We got a load on our truck right now, double load from one of our good brokers that is an average of $3.02 a mile for both of them. But after you take our Deadhead in, it's just about $2 a mile. So
either way, we're taking care of.
Right.
We're going to take care of Josh.
Back to cross country. We don't typically do it. That's just what works for us because we have kids at home on the weekend. That's what we do. And the next question was the money that I put up based on Monday through Friday? And I just hit on that. Yes, everything except this past weekend, which you'll see in a different video. We've been home every Monday or every weekend day. So everything that you've been seeing or hearing has been based on Monday and through Friday.
Right.
Do we count food as expense? No. We don't count that when we're figuring out expenses because if we're at home, we need food. If you work a different job, you need food. But what we do, and might put a video up of this, is we food prep every Sunday. So we have containers that we got for food prepping, and we try to make up a supper for every night.
Right.
Take stuff for lunch, and we'll, if we do have time, which we don't always have time, maybe stop and get something somewhere, but we don't.
Very rarely do we have to eat out. I don't like being hungry, so we always make sure we have food, snacks.
Do we stay in a hotel? Yes.
Yes, we stay in a hotel. It is more expensive. It is cutting in our bottom line, but at the same time, I think it's best for us to stay in a hotel. I don't know how else to explain it.
No, and we figure if we're still pulling as good of margins as we are pulling, making as good as money we are making, just to have that good night's rest, that shower after you've been, you know, driving 11 hours, on duty 14, whatever it may be. It's worth it to us to stay in a hotel. And, you know, with AAA and different things, we usually, unless depending on us, you know, you get up around New York City and stuff, you're going to be paying more, but it hasn't been too bad. So for us, it's worth it.
Right.
Is our insurance truck and cargo? So we had a couple questions on that based on what I guess they saw as my weekly insurance estimate and wondering if that covered both. It does. I think our insurance a month is what, about $700?
Yeah, it's very cheap. I don't know how we got it that cheap. Either way, I won't complain because we can't find it any cheaper. It's very good insurance. We have the $1 million liability and the 100,000 cargo, which, you know, you have to have it out there. I know minimum's 75,000 per cargo. Most brokers won't even touch you unless you have 100,000 on that.
Do we have our own authority?
Yes, we have our own authority. You know, I started it up. You can go back and watch the first videos, especially the second video where I hit on our own authority and how to set that up. So yes, it's our own authority, and of course, like we said earlier in this video, we want to grow this business, and that's one reason we want to run under our own authority.
Yep. So, how much can we haul? I think that was asked, if I remember correctly, because they saw we did just have a regular F-350, and I think they were wondering how much we could haul with that. And there's kind of two answers to that: what we can legally haul and what you like to stay around.
What I can legally haul, I can do 17,000, about 700 pounds. My trailer and truck will handle it. The IRP plates go up to 34,000, which that puts me up to 34,000. I don't like to be up that much. You know, it's my truck and trailer. It's got to last a long time. So I try to stay under 16,000, which is a very good number. Not overstressing the equipment. So 16,000 is where I like to be.
And that's also, we do it to have a buffer. And it's a good thing we do, because one of our last loads, if you go back to the video of our last week out, there was something that was 3,200 pounds more than they told us it would be.
Right.
So it's a good thing we leave some of that buffer there, because you never know what there's going to be.
We had a partial picking up. You know, if it wasn't for that partial, we would have been, it wouldn't have been as big as issue. But we had a partial, so they kind of, it really
hit
raised
almost
it up.
at max of what we can legally haul. We were really pretty close.
Yeah, so
it was a good thing.
So yeah, a little bit of buffer room there.
Next question is our location: Northern Ohio.
Northern Ohio. It's cold. Yeah. I say that all the time. We're in Northern Ohio, and it's cold.
It's cold. Do we have our hut stickers? Yes.
Yes, hut stickers, of course. Everybody wants a piece of the pie. So, yes, hut stickers.
So if you go in New York at all, you have to have hut stickers. If you don't have them yet, and you have to go in New York, you need to get a temporary permit. We had to do that once while waiting on the mess of the hut stickers. They couldn't seem to get that all together.
Yeah, so the hut sticker, they told me it takes 72 hours to get. Took me 3 weeks. So I don't know what the issue was there. I set all that up. We should have been good. So we're going into New York the first time. This was like a week after I filed all the paperwork. So it's just, it was a lengthy process, and we had to get a temporary pass, which was 25 or 35.
Yeah. And
it was a 72-hour pass.
You can do that through their site, by the way, because they were trying to put us through to a third party that was charging $150 or something like that for a temporary pass.
Right.
But then we finally got a lady that helped us, and she just walked me through the steps, and you can actually do it on their website, and it was a whole lot cheaper.
So yeah, if you're doing a temporary pass, just to hit on that note, they can do it. It is a New York tax number that you have to call. So it's all done through their tax department. Right. Just so when you're looking for hut stickers, it is New York tax department.
And I wouldn't try to sneak in there without one, because we did get a DOT they don't have weigh stations in New York. It's all inspection stations, and we got it once, and he wouldn't know right away. He asked where our hut sticker was because we hadn't got it yet, and so we had to show him, you know, all the information to prove that we applied for it and it was on its way and all that stuff. So I wouldn't suggest trying to go in there, even if it's for a short distance.
Yeah, I mean, they're all over the place. It seems like every 5 miles, which may be a little dramatic, maybe not. I don't know. It just constant.
And they're always open.
They're almost always open, inspection stations. Just to hit on that real quick, hut stickers, they want it by the front license plate. So just for a little FYI there.
Next question, did we buy our trailer? Like, I think they asked if we bought it, leased it, paid cash, what we decided to do. And I think what we did was we were going to pay cash, but you found that one relatively discounted. So we just put some money down. Right.
I mean, it's kind of a capital thing. We didn't want to spend, you know, $8,700, take it from the capital. It's kind of a, you know, a little balancing act there. Of do we spend the money or do we just kind of, you know, finance it a little bit, and so didn't want to spend the extra money.
Right. Have we had a hard time getting loads in general, and do we have a hard time getting them with the new authority? I think we touch on getting them in general. No, I mean, you'll see in the video that will be the start of 8 or 9 and 10. 9 and 10, we were in North Carolina that one weekend, and we got to the end of the week, and we spent all day trying to find a load.
Right.
Ended up getting stuck there for a weekend, but we did have one lined up for Monday. I'd say that was our hardest time, trying to find a load.
Well, it seems like for not this week. This week seems like freight is doing better. Yeah. For about 3 weeks, other guys said all winter long, freight has been, you know, it has been moving, it has been paying. We haven't found that issue other than about 3 weeks ago. It really seemed like it dried up. Again, this week, doing much better.
But we still had our average. I mean, we were still hitting our weekly average and doing. It just seemed to be harder to get them lined up. Instead of staying 1 or 2 loads ahead, we were pretty much looking for them as soon as we were empty. We'd find one instead of staying ahead.
Right. I mean, we've never sat around for more than at least, what, 4 hours?
Maybe something
you know,
like that.
Once we unload, we almost always have a load lined up. Usually get it the day before. You know, this last week was a little more of a struggle. We unloaded, and I think we sat around, I think it was 4 hours before we actually found another load, which Carrie, again, she was looking 2 days prior, and, you know, the day prior, just trying to find that load, and it was hard to get one.
But luckily, we got lucky. We came across one. It didn't pick up to Monday, so we stayed there over the weekend, but it was paying $900 for like 170 miles, which is, whatever, you can do the math, I think like $5 a mile or something. So it was definitely worth the waiting over the weekend for that. So, and did we have a hard time finding loads with our new authority? I would say not really. I mean, we came across some in the beginning that wanted to wait to 3 months. And then there's just a couple that we've come across at 6 months. Yeah,
there's only 2 I think we came across that were 6 months. And there's actually one that they want a year or multiple drivers, which I don't understand. Whatever. I can hire a driver day 2 when we could have worked with them.
So that makes no sense. But I think so far that we've come across the 6 months one, there's 2. In the first maybe month or 2, we might have had a little bit of a harder time because there was a few we came across that was 3 months. But I mean, overall, except our first week, which was just a week we kind of counted as our learning lesson, we've always had loads. I mean, if we did come across one that we couldn't have because we wasn't around long enough, we found other ones. So it wasn't like we suffered.
Right. So our authority is over 120 days old now. Of these brokers that wanted 90 days, I think we've only used maybe 1 or 2 of them in the past 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah. So it didn't make that big a difference.
No, it does make it a little tougher, but still, it's, if we couldn't take their load, there's another load we could take.
So
Yeah.
The last question is keep it getting asked what our Facebook page is, and it is Life on the Road Again. I put a link up in one of the comments. I can't remember in which video, but it is Life on the Road Again, Ohio Hauler LLC. So I'm gonna put it there. See, live, but it's probably backwards for you, but that's what the page looks like. Go to it, like it. I try to update this more regularly, so you'll see, you know, daily posts of where we've been, what we've done, neat things, some stories we come across, people we meet. So go to the page, like it, and I think that's it for comments, or questions. But we appreciate you guys, and the ones of you that have subscribed, we appreciate it. We appreciate you guys actually interested in watching us and asking us questions. We're still learning, so by no means do we think we know it all, because every week we learn something different. But and we're always open to someone helping us if they know something we may have missed or need to know. But we appreciate the questions. Keep them coming. We'll try to do more of these Q&A. You know, even talked about today, I know we don't have very many subscribers yet, but if you guys would be interested in any live Q&A sessions, we can do that. We also had thought about, you know, the Sunday, maybe could take some time and do a live if you were interested. So just let us know, leave it in the comments, somehow let us know. And if we get enough people that are interested, we'll go live for a short time here soon and try to answer any questions you may have.
Right, and there was one question, I believe. I don't know the exact question, but I believe it was, do you need, was it IFTA for under 26.1?
Yes.
So anything under 26,001 pounds, you do not need IFTA, which seems like a great ideal, but in my opinion, go get that CDL. You're gonna make more. I know IFTA is 28 cents per gallon, but let me just hit on that real quick. Just that CDL is going to bring you more money than what that is going to take from you.
Yeah, I had that asked again today, and so I did the math quickly based on, I was in the truck while he was loading, so I did it based on quickly on some of the last numbers that I knew we had. And so if we had a week of, say, $750 in gas, it's an average of $3, or fuel, it's an average of $3 a gallon. You know, you take that, break that down, it was whatever it was, like 250 gallons times the 28 cents. It came out to where it's like less than 3 cents a mile is going toward IFTA, which came out to like $67 a week or $270 a month. You'll make up that extra $270 a month in the load differences.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's no question you can make that up.
Just real quick, CDL, at least in the state of Ohio, I think it's in every other state, from my understanding. You don't have to go through all the long process of schooling. You just go to DMV, take the test, and I think you wait 2 weeks, at least here in Ohio, you wait 2 weeks with your permit, and then sign up with sign up for the class and go drive. I think it took an hour and a half is what they give you to get that CDL. It's a pretty quick process. You can have it in under 2 weeks without going to school.
Yeah.
So it can be done pretty quickly if you want to get out there and get running. Yep. So
we have one that's wanting to run with us without a CDL, and you know, around this area, I think I can make it work. I think it'll work okay. So you know, you guys are out there and have the equipment to start without a CDL. Get started.
Just get started. I mean, if you got a truck and trailer and everything else lines up and you don't have that CDL yet, just
get started and work your way up there.
Just get started. Absolutely. You can start at the bottom there and move up if you want, or if you like running without a CDL and you're making it work, at least you're doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, in our area with all the freight there is, I think I'll be able to keep them pretty busy, but you know, I would suggest that even if you just have the equipment now, just like you said, try to make that a goal to work yourself up to that. The difference in the IFTA, I mean, you're paying the same insurance, at least ours would be the same with or without CDL. You know, nothing else would change. Same fuel, same everything except the IFTA that you'd have to pay. And few cents a mile, it's worth the
right. I
worth the
mean,
difference.
if you're gonna have a truck and trailer, just my opinion, just step it up. But again, your preference. If you're making it work, that's all that matters.
Right.
So I think that's it, right?
I think that's it. Hopefully we'll get some. Oh no, we had one more quick thing we wanted to touch on, and that was
Very important.
another organization tip. We got a binder like this, and we put all of our information in there. So each page we put like the registration, we put his health certificate, all the things they're going to ask for when you go for an inspection. They're going to ask for all those things. We keep it in this binder so that when the officer walks up to the truck, we just hand him in the binder. And we've seemed to have a really good response by doing that. I think that alone changes their mood. And
it throws them off guard. And you're like, well, if these guys are this organized to put this in a binder, you know, more than likely, I'm just going to pass them. Everything else is good. One DOT officer, he was the trooper out of Tennessee. He's like, I've never seen this. This is nice. And I think it changes their mood.
He said usually they're spending, two of them told us that usually they're spending all sorts of time just rummaging around through their truck, finding papers, and it wastes more of their time, wastes more of your time. So it is a lot easier. We just hand it right to them, and I think they do appreciate it more.
Absolutely. And I just read an article yesterday, on tips on passing DOT inspections, and they suggested the same thing that we're doing here with this binder. Just hit on another note, I guess, while we're on the subject, and try not to make this too long, but the trooper down in Tennessee, which I still do, I keep everything in my bed tidy, organized. Kind of the same concept. If they look back there and they see it's a mess, they're going to assume everything else in the business and your truck and your maintenance records aren't up to date. So he suggested that make sure you always keep everything organized, tied out of the way, especially the hot shots, because he said that, you know, it could pull out the I guess it's emergency brake. I don't know exactly what it's called on the trailer. Then, you know, it's going to lock up your brakes in the middle of traffic. So, you know, it's just a suggestion that he made, and also, you know, I'm making it to you guys. So, I guess we could wrap this up. And
yep, we're home this weekend, so this is our youngest, Marissa. Say hello to the YouTube world. What should they do, Marissa?
Like, subscribe, and comment down below any other questions.
That's right. There'll be a video coming with her taking the day and going with Mom and Dad and doing some runs. That was fun. So we got a future YouTube star right here in the making, right here. Eventually she's going to get her own channel up and running. Life on the Road Again Junior. But all right, Marissa, tell them until next time, stay safe.
Bye.
God bless. And like and subscribe. Thank you.